Welcome, everyone. My phone off as well. 12:30. There you go. It's the longest minute ever from 29 to 30, that was. So welcome. As I said, my name is, I haven't said yet, but my name is Eve. A few of you maybe have watched the past 2 weeks where we did a kind of introduction to breath work, breath awareness, and then went into calm breathing. Today on week 3 is very much about simple breathing techniques that you might want to use or kind of pass the word on to others. Obviously, this is a recorded session, so maybe for later for some people, that you can use in kind of your everyday life. Breath work is huge, like, I mean, lots to it, where we can work with the breath to calm down the nervous system and work with it in different ways to do different things, to bring alertness, to calm the body down, to bring a little clarity, to help you sleep. I think, Rodri, your mic is on. If you don't mind just clicking it off. Obviously, you can ask me any questions as we go and afterwards as well. But yeah, that's it. It was just a little bit of interference. Thank you. So yeah, different techniques today. So today is very much about bringing in information on 3 different breathing techniques. One is called espresso breathing. Clue is in the title. I always say it's one of my favorites to bring alertness to the body, like a cup of coffee. One is box breathing, one that maybe people might be quite familiar with, and the other one is 4-7-8. It's an extension of calm breathing, often known as sleep breathing, if that makes sense, to help you sleep. A couple of things before we begin. For the Rig Run International Cup, you obviously have to register your attendance for points, so don't forget to do that. Throughout any of these breathwork styles, and I know we're not doing them live, but if anything feels it's too quick for you or a little bit too fast or the breaths are too deep, change the breathing pattern so that it feels a little bit more comfortable. But equally, be aware that if breathwork is new to you, it will feel challenging. And I always remind people at the start of sessions that our brain and our bodies like what it likes to do, what it's used to doing. Said it in my Pilates class this morning. We're doing loads of new work and everyone was like, don't like it, not sure. Well, that's because it's new, and we kind of got to get our body used to it. So I think that's the most important thing, knowing to change up the rhythm and the rate of the breath. And a quick reminder about what breath work is. It's work for the breath. So this is why it can often feel challenging, but it is the conscious awareness and use of the breath to enhance your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. We all have a nervous system that needs support and emotions we need to process and release. If you don't know much about the nervous system, and I have to admit, before I became a breathwork teacher, I knew a little, but not as much as I do now. And it's amazing. Your nervous system is amazing. The part we work with is the autonomic nervous system. If you go back to week 1, I talk a lot about that, so I won't do it. I won't go over it again. But for me, I always need to know why I'm doing something and how it's working. And week 1 session, which is recorded, gives you that real insight into what is your nervous system, how does it work to benefit us. So really important just to go over as well, benefits of the breath work to the mind and to your head is things like reduced feelings of stress, anxiety, overwhelm. Sometimes if you're panicked or irritable, breath work can instantly help with that. It can break default thinking patterns because it interrupts and redirects the flow of your thoughts instantly, because when you're focusing on your breathing, you can't really focus on much else, really, to be fair. It reduces your mental chatter in your mind as you train your breath to come away from the noise and be really in the present moment. What does it do for the body? Millions of things. It's great. It can really connect you to how you feel in your body, if nothing else. Just noticing any tension, sometimes pain, if you're kind of struggling with injuries. It sounds terrible that we want to bring that awareness in, but it just lets you identify parts of the body that don't feel great. And it can clear unprocessed stress and emotions from the body and toxins from the body as well. It's great at slowing down your heart rate, which we need to do sometimes, particularly if we're kind of pushed a little bit into this sympathetic state in our nervous system, the fight or flight mode. So it can lower your heart rate, lower your blood pressure. What it does wonderfully is work with your digestive system. So it can help aid better digestion, things like irritable bowel syndrome, so IBS, or digestive issues can really aid that. We say our stomach is our second brain, and they're very much linked. Again, I talk about that a little bit in week 1, if you get a hold of the recording. And strengthen your immune system. Without a shadow of a doubt, aids better sleep. And I can be a terrible sleeper at time, and I use breath work. In fact, last night again, middle of the night, couldn't get back to sleep because I was thinking over things. And actually, I used this 4-7-8 breathing that we're doing today to help me get back to sleep. Maybe you might use that as you go through. It can reduce the stress hormone cortisol into the body and reduce inflammation in the body as well. Benefits of breath work to your soul, to how you're feeling, and it connects you maybe back to your own intuition a little more. You're kind of in a compass, and offers a deeper connection to yourself, and kind of takes you away from all the noise of life, and just allows you sometimes to just pause and just be. So we'll hopefully get some of those feelings and benefits from today. So as I said, I'm going to take you through a few different techniques. I'm going to explain what they are and the different tools, how you can use them, and you can maybe see which ones feel right for you. And the first one, good for your toolkit, and these are really super simple, is called espresso breathing, also known as sniff, sniff, sigh, because that's how you breathe. And it's a really effective technique for upregulating the nervous system to increase alertness and energy. So for an example, I use this sometimes before I'm going in to teach, especially if I'm going in to teach someone else's class. Sometimes you're not so well received, a new instructor coming in, or if I'm doing a presentation or anything like that, I'll sit sometimes in my car even before I get out and do espresso breathing, just to kind of create a little bit of energy and calm myself down a little bit. It's a great technique. It can be used first thing in the morning or mid-afternoon when you want a burst of energy or alertness, and it can bring more focus into your day. A great alternative to a cup of coffee. However, for me, I think I need to have both. A bit of coffee and a bit of espresso breathing. It's a really great technique to use as part of your morning routine. And sometimes we get caught in what they call the freeze state or the fawn state, which as I spoke about in the session 1. So we have our body in a maybe fight or flight state, the stress state, and then we have the rest and digest, where everything feels great and body comes back to working better. But there's also this kind of freeze state whereby it's kind of a feeling, you're feeling quite numb, quite down, quite depressed, or maybe a little bit disconnected. And this breath work, espresso breathing, can be better than something like calm breathing, which we've done before, because maybe you need a little charge of energy rather than calming yourself down. And because it can kickstart things again if you're feeling lethargic or maybe a little withdrawn. And you don't want to be pushed into a deeper, calmer state. So when we begin, and I'm going to take you through a short espresso breathing session, a couple of rounds of it, and a couple of little breath holds as well. It's to be done ideally just sort of sitting up. It can be wherever you are. I don't quite know where you are, but maybe leaning against a wall or seated is fine. I'll sometimes, as I say, just be sitting in my car stationary, however, just seated. Often I will bring one hand across the stomach because your optimal breathing will come in from your stomach. You're expanding the stomach and the diaphragm, and then drawing the breath up into the chest. It's completely up to you, but you can begin like that in a moment with one hand across the stomach, one hand across the chest. And remember, you can change the depth of the breath, or you can slow it down if you want to at any time. Also, when we breathe in this way, obviously, I often ask people whether I'm running this as the back of my Pilates session on wellness retreats or wellness days. How did it feel, espresso breathing? People can often say they feel it sometimes a little lightheaded or dizzy, nothing major. But it's because you're playing around with the oxygen and the CO2, oxygen coming in and the CO2 coming out. But if it doesn't feel quite right for you at that moment, just pause, just press the brake and slow it down. So espresso breathing, number 1 of 3 little takeaway tips for breathing today. So all I want you to do just now is sit comfortably. If you're not there already, just find a nice comfortable position. It's better to be sitting or lying down, and maybe not a technique for driving when you're driving or you're walking, but some are. And I'm just going to show you how it looks. So like I said, you'll breathe in through the nose and take another further breath through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. So that's why it's called sniff, sniff, sigh, espresso breathing. So it looks a little like this. So for me, I'm bringing one hand to the stomach and one hand up into the chest, just relaxing the shoulders. And of course, you can close your eyes or keep them open. And it's sniff, sniff, sigh. So breath into the stomach, up into the chest. And then you let it go with a sigh. And for me, when I'm doing espresso breathing, even then there's a kind of a little lightheadedness. I like to bring the shoulders up so I can just let the tension release on the exhale, on that sigh. And then we'll do a little round of it. And then I'm going to get you to do a little inhale and then a hold at the top for around about 10 to 15 seconds, just so you can turn in and observe maybe any sensations in the body from that breath hold. Feeling into that space, just connecting in a little bit, feeling your heart beating, feeling the blood moving through the body. And then we'll find an exhale, and when you've got that urge to breathe again. So when you're ready, everyone, like I said, an option to just bring one hand to the stomach and one hand into the chest, and choose to close your eyes or keep them open. And I'm going to count you through or talk you through this breath work. There's no counting really. So when you're ready, remember, sniff, sniff, sigh, breathe into the stomach, another breath in through the nose, into the chest, and let it go. So breathe in, breathe up, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe up, breathe out. So it's a sniff of breath into the stomach, sniff, sigh. So we sniff, sniff, sigh. We breathe in through the nose, another breath through the nose, and let it go with a sigh. So we breathe in, we breathe up, we breathe out. We breathe in, we breathe up, we breathe out, connecting the breaths in, up, and out. Slow down the rate if you need it. Breathing in, breathing up, breathing out. Remember, it's a sniff, sniff, sigh. Sniff, sniff, sigh. Just a couple more. Breathing in, breathing up, letting go. Breathing in, breathing up, letting go. Breathing in, breathing up, hold your breath. Maybe now just close your eyes as you continue to hold your breath, feeling in to the body. And only when you need to, let the breath go. Holding on as long as you can. These breath holds are good to build up that tolerance of CO2 in the body, especially if you struggle a little with anxiety. It can help you. Maybe you notice your heart beating, like I said, a little heat, a little warmth, a little lightness in the head. Maybe by now you've already taken that big sigh and let the breath go. And just settle into a rhythm of breath that feels comfortable for you, that feels easy for you. And just notice how you feel. How do you feel? Maybe you just notice a little sense of energy or a little sense of calm. Maybe it felt difficult. Just noticing. Just turning in for a moment. I'm going to do that again. So remember, it's sniff, sniff, sigh when we begin. You should hear the breath come in, that two pulls of the breath, visualizing the breath starting from the stomach, expanding the diaphragm, expanding the stomach, drawing up into the chest, maybe letting the shoulders lift so the shoulders can fall as you exhale with that sigh. So when you're ready, eyes closed, eyes open, whatever helps you connect in. Maybe you want to keep your eyes open to just feel a little more alert. I'm going to change the rate so it's a little quicker, but feel free to slow it down if you need it. So sniff, sniff, sigh. Sniff, sniff, sigh. Breathe in, breathe up, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe up, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe up, breathe out. Relax the shoulders. Breathe in, breathe up, breathe out. Breathing in, breathing up, let it go. Inhale, continue, release. Breathing in, breathing up, release. Any tension from the body, in, up, and out. Breathing in, breathing up, breathing out, keeping the focus. Sniff, sniff, sigh. Hear the breath come in and up and out of the body. Breathing in, breathing up, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing up, breathing out. One more time. Breathing in, breathing up, breathing out. This time, hold your breath now. Hold your breath at the bottom where the exhale has gone. Continuing to really hold on to your breath until you feel that urge to breathe in and let it go. Lengthening the breath hold as much as you can. Turning your attention inwards to how you feel in your body and maybe into your mind. Maybe you're able to really focus. Maybe your head is still busy, and that's okay. Just notice. Nothing to change, nothing to do. Good. I'm going to try one more. So we know how it works now. Yeah, really take the breath in, let the shoulders lift and release. So when you're ready, sniff, sniff, sigh. Sniff, sniff, sigh. So we'll breathe in, breathe up, breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose, up through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathing in, breathing up, breathing out. Maybe a little quick in the rate. In, up, and out. Breathing in, breathing up, breathing 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 out. Bringing alertness in and up, letting go of the breath. Breathing in, breathing up, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing up, taking a breath hold here. Top of the inhale. Noticing. Just really focusing on your body. What do you feel? How do you feel? Heart beating. Do you feel it? And remembering, just let go of the breath whenever you need to, holding on to it as long as you can. Good. That energy can maybe build in the body and you might feel that. Just settle into that rhythm of breath that feels good, feels easy. If your eyes will close, just open them. And there is espresso breathing. Things take a little practice too. So remember, it's that sniff, sniff, sigh. Little cup of coffee when you need it. Used for energy, for alertness. A little bit of calming, but not too much on this one. and it's really accessible. Yours to use whenever you wish. So we're doing a lot of breathing today, everyone. And maybe after you can let me know how you found it. But we're going to move into box breathing. For me, it was the one that I knew before I came in to be a breathwork teacher, that I used to use. And it's used a lot. Well, it was used a lot, for example, by the Navy SEALs, obviously people who are going into really difficult places. It's also known as square breathing. And it's a brilliant technique, a wonderful technique for calming down the mind, relaxing the body, and bringing some element of improved focus in as well. As I say, it's popular among the Navy SEALs and athletes. It's a great technique to calm ourselves down. If we've activated the stress response, the fight or flight mode, that kind of moment where maybe you've been a little triggered by something and you're just feeling a little panicked and your heart is racing, you need to pull yourself out of it. It's box breathing, square breathing, because we visualize a box as we're breathing, and it's traditionally done as a count of 4, 4, 4, 4. So you'll breathe in for 4, you'll hold for 4, you'll breathe out for 4, and then you'll hold for 4. And that's always helped me, the kind of visualizing as I was breathing, the kind of box, a line for each breath or breath hold. Box breathing can be used anytime. Anytime you recognize, like I say, you're in that kind of more fight or flight stress response mode, and you want to bring yourself into a more grounded and connected place with yourself, where you feel a little calmer, where you feel a little more focused. It can help if we're under pressure, if you're feeling a little anxious. Again, that's why it's so often popular with people like Navy SEALs. You can use this informally during the day, in the car, when you're cooking, in the shower, when you've woken up, anytime. When you maybe recognize symptoms and signs of you're kind of getting pushed into a little bit of a stress feeling, even from just opening your phone or switching on your phone and checking messages, something triggers you a little bit, pushing you into this state of nervous system dysregulation, and it can just pull you back. So a good one to add to your toolkit. And you can experiment with the breathing. It might be 3, 3, 3, 3, or even more challenging as you practice it, 5, 5, and 5, 5, 5 counts of holds. See what suits you. But it's really important when we begin and when you tune into box breathing, that when you take the pause, you really tune in and observe what is happening. So you're scanning your mind, you're scanning your body and your heart, scanning for tension or discomfort. And the exhale really focuses on bringing your awareness into the present moment, letting go of any default thinking patterns or tension stored in your body, or maybe emotions that aren't really serving you very well. It's a lovely time to use affirmations. They're super simple. Affirmations are just kind of, they can be used alongside breathwork techniques, such as breathing in and telling yourself, in this moment, all is well. And breathing out, I let go of tension, I let go of stress. Maybe the breath in is I am calm, feeling really balanced, or you're welcoming in calm. And breathing out, you're just letting go of any worries. So it's things you can say while you're doing this box breathing. When we begin to breathe, which we will in a moment, a little reminder of how we do, or tell if you know already, but you breathe in through the nose and you hold, and you breathe out through the mouth and you hold. It's a very connected breathing pattern. And it's really important. It allows you to feel relaxed when you're doing it. You're not feeling sort of really stressed when you're doing it, because you want this experience to shift you into a relaxed state. And this is designed to help you happen. Let that happen. So if you want to set up, you can be seated, excuse me, cross-legged in your chair, maybe if you're seated on the floor, maybe legs out in front, whatever's more comfortable for you. And we use the nose to breathe in and out if you want, or your mouth on the exhale, like I said before. So often optimally is in through the nose and out through the nose, but if you feel that's not comfortable, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So shall we begin? Before we do, I'm just going to quickly run through how I would do my box breathing, and you won't hear it. You won't hear me talking, but you'll kind of know that one line is for the breath in, one line is for the breath hold, one line is for the breath out. And it looks like this. So I'm going to begin breathing in. So there's your inhale, there's your breath hold, there is your exhale, and there's your breath hold. Okay, the 4, 4, 4, 4, but we're going to start with 3. So drop your shoulders, everyone. Sit nice and straight through your spine. Eyes closed, eyes open. You can see how you go. You might keep your eyes open as I'm going to draw this little box for you. When you're ready, breathe in through the nose, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out through the nose, 2, 3, and hold, 2, 3. Breathing in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Breathing out, 2, 3, and hold, 2, 3. Breathing in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Breathing out, 2, 3, and hold, 2, 3. And just relax. Just go easy. Just breathe comfortably. And keep your focus on how you feel just now, how it felt for you. Maybe you noticed the breath holds were a little tricky. Just the structure of this breath work, maybe it felt a little difficult, or maybe it was a really nice one you could really focus on. Helped you calm, help you be more present, maybe help you feel more relaxed. I give you focus, took your mind away from the outside world for a moment. If that's what it does, then that's wonderful. And this time I want you to think about a longer count of 4. That's a kind of traditional box breathing tempo that we use. If it's too much, pull it back to 3 every time, but let's see how we go. And just before we begin, everyone, I'm just going to remind you of where you want to start your breath directing into the body. Try and visualize it coming into the stomach and traveling up before each hold, or before the hold. So when you're ready, eyes open, eyes closed, visualize the little box if it helps you. In through the nose, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, out through the nose, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, holding, breathing out, and holding. Breathing in, holding, breathing out, just holding. Let's take one more full breath in through the nose. Hold, breathe out, and hold. Good. And just relax. Just turn in, just pause for a moment. How does it feel again with those slow breaths and the holds, just allowing the CO2 to build up in the blood? Remember, we increase CO2, we enhance the response of the vagus nerve that kind of allows us to really kick into that more relaxed state And when we exhale, we stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest state, pushing you into that kind of calmer feeling, relaxed state. So, box breathing, everyone. And the short one, I'm going to keep, the last one I'm going to keep short. So we've had our espresso, the alertness, the box breathing. It can kind of calm things down a little bit, relax. 4-7-8. Very popular breath work as well. It's a versatile technique for things like emotional triggers and anxiety and sleep. And that's because of this longer breath hold. So it's called 4-7-8 breathing. It can be changed a little bit, and I'll talk to you about that. But the inhale is for 4 counts. The hold is longer. 7 counts for holding, and then the 8 is the slow exhale. It's a bit like the calm breathing. The calm breathing, we breathe in for 4, breathe out for 8, but we put in this breath hold. It's a great technique used to stimulate, again, the nervous system, pushing it into a relaxed state and holding a space, that hold, to process any kind of emotional triggers and feelings of stress and anxiety. And it can be used rather than just responding to something that's kind of triggered you or stressed you. Breathing like this, just sitting in the pause, because maybe something has happened, it's created an emotional charge through the body from some kind of trigger, and you want to help to move through that. Brilliant if you're dealing with difficulty sleeping, or you're awake in the night and you want to help yourself get back to sleep. So like I say, the exhale is twice as long as the inhale, with that lovely pause in the middle. It allows us to, in the pause, CO2 to build a little into the body, which can help people with anxiety. And it allows you to be a little more comfortable in that space, in the hold, and the sensations that you're feeling in that hold, that have maybe made you feel anxious, just sitting in it. Maybe sometimes we don't sit in it enough. Being comfortable with the sensations that you're feeling. And sometimes they're not good ones, I know, but they kind of sit in the body only really for about 90 seconds. So this is a way to help us push through that. The 7-second hold, as I said, you're just getting used to holding your breath, sitting in emotions that maybe are coming up for you when you choose to use this breath, knowing that you're okay, knowing that you're safe, and you have the opportunity to release these feelings rather than suppressing them. Because often when we're feeling triggered or stressed or something's happened, we react straight away with words or with actions. This can just help you process. By calling your attention to your breath, engaging in the extended pause, you can just learn to sit with your feelings instead, without reacting immediately in the moment. And like I said, most emotional triggers produce a chemical reaction that lasts only for about 90 seconds in the body. So this challenge just allows yourself the time and the breathing space to sit with what's being felt before we react, before we respond. It can be used at any time during the day when you're feeling a little triggered or a little anxious, or like I said, struggling to sleep. And I'm going to take you through it. And the holds are tricky, so shorten them if you need it. Softening your exhale more. If you need it, the breath will come in through the nose, will hold, and then just kind of through pursed lip, like you're kind of blowing out through a straw, out through the mouth. So everyone, close your eyes, keep your eyes open. It's our last little breathing technique. I'm going to let you get on with your day, the 4-7-8 breath. We're going to start with a short count of 3, 5, and 6. So I want you to first place the tip of your tongue on that little bit of soft tissue behind the front teeth. Drop your shoulders. And when you're breathing in, you're going to expand the stomach outwards. So let's begin. Breathe in through the nose, 2, 3. Holding, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Remember, breathing in, 2, 3. Holding, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in, 2, 3, holding, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in, holding, and breathing out. Just pausing there a moment, not holding your breath, just continuing to breathe. And just notice how you're feeling. How did it feel with that little hold at the top? Maybe it was difficult. Maybe it was uncomfortable to hold the breath, for example. Give you time to pause. We'll do one more short round before we go. Extending the inhale, extending the hold, and extending the exhale. It's okay to run out of breath on the exhale as well. So when you're ready, everyone, remember breathing in through the mouth, and then we're holding and we're letting go through pursed lips. So let's breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Holding, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in from the stomach to the chest. Holding, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out, 2, 3. Slow, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Holding, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try 2 more. Breathe in, hold, slow breath out, 2, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Breathe in, holding, and breathe out. And relax. And breathe easy, comfortably. And if you can, just invite you to close your eyes for a moment. Just noticing the ease of your breath now. Maybe the rise and fall of your chest or your shoulders or your stomach. And notice how you feel. How your body feels. How busy maybe now your mind is, or hopefully not. Maybe a sense of calmness, relaxation. And then open your eyes. And that is us for today, everyone. Lots to take in, I appreciate. But hopefully you can take this recording and maybe go over it again and try a couple of these as you go through your day, maybe tonight. So remember the espresso breathing, the sniff, sniff, sigh, just to bring alertness into the body. And then the box breathing. If you're feeling a little anxious, at times a little agitated, you just want a little bit of clarity. We know we can breathe in and hold and breathe out and hold. And then the wonderful 4-7-8, or a little shorter if you want, just sitting in that hold for a moment, letting any feelings or emotions that are not feeling great just pass, and aid sleep too, of course, as well. I'll help you get back to sleep. Any questions, let me know. I hope to see you for conscious connected breathing, circular breathing on our next session next week, which is about switching off a little bit of the thinking part of your brain, your little chatty monkey part of the brain, very safely, of course, and maybe tapping into more the kind of emotional part of the brain. It's one of my favorites. It can be challenging, but I might see you then. Any questions? I'll stay on for a couple of minutes if you want to chat about anything at all. Lots of water after this, everyone, and let me know how you get on, maybe.